Hello pit crew, welcome back to Simpit. I'm Ameer, but the star of today's show is the Simlab Vario Vesa Mount. Now these mounts were made for your triple monitor setup to eliminate any sag or gap between your monitors. When you get them, they come in pieces like this and they're individually wrapped, that way they don't get scratched up in between shipping. As you can see, I already got two of them put together. And the other option you have to, when you get these monitor stands, is you can either get the regular Vesa mount, or if you have the BenQ monitors, Simlab offers you this little adapter right here so you can mount your monitors, your BenQ monitors, to your stand. It's really easy to put together if you follow instructions that are on the Simlab website, but I'm going to go ahead and show you how to put these together before we get them mounted on the rig and do our review on them. All right, so let's put together our Vario Vesa mount. So we got this part right here, these parts right here. This is gonna be the part that goes onto the back of your monitor, and these part right here are gonna go on the back of your triple monitor stand. So we'll start with these parts right here. So you got this black piece right here. You got this piece right here, the red iodized, that's got the slot, screw right here, and then 4 little screws that's gonna attach to these 2 pieces right here. All right, so we're gonna grab our Allen key. We're gonna line up the 4 holes right here with the 4 holes that are right here. All right, we'll grab our screws, make sure we fit them in. Now, grab our Allen key, make sure we tighten everything up. That's one, our second one. And everything here is like perfectly iodized black. It's a matte black that looks beautiful. Right, grab our last screw. All right, got that. We're gonna make sure everything's tightened up. All right, now we're gonna grab this screw right here. So it's got 2 sides to it, one that's not drilled and one that's drilled that fits an Allen key. So we're gonna make sure this part right here faces this right here. So you can grab, we're just gonna screw it in. Don't worry about how far you have to get it in, just get it in. And there we go. Because once you actually get this put on the plate, this is what you're going to use to adjust the angle of your monitor. It's going to, from the bottom, if it's going to go up or down. All right, let's put that to the side. Now we can start with these pieces. So this piece, make sure the recessed parts are facing towards you. You're going to grab this piece right here. This is the monitor mount for your BenQ monitors. It's not going to fit on your normal monitors, but you have the option when you buy this from Simlabs to get either the normal Vesa mount or you can get this one for your BenQ monitors. So we're going to line up the holes. So the instructions, when you look at them, they tell you to mount this plate like this. But if you notice, the holes don't line up at all. So if you look at it from the back, you got these 2 top holes, they're facing towards the inside, and you got these are facing towards the outside, so they're not going to match up. But what you can do is just flip it over, and then your holes are going to match up perfectly. To help you out, because we're going to attach these parts to you right together, so we're going to grab 2 screws, make sure we thread them through. That way we can make sure everything's aligned. Now you're going to grab one of these red pieces of red anodized aluminum block. So if you look at it, it's got one hole that's drilled all the way through and one that's not. So you got to make sure the one that's drilled through all the way through is facing downwards and to the outside. And then you're going to use the screws and screw into these 2 holes that are right here. If we can get it in. All right, and this part right here, you don't have to make sure you tighten them up just yet, because we still got to fit this bar and the other piece on too. So just get it just a little tight, that way there's no wiggle with this piece. Just like we did previously, just grab these 2 screws, feed them through. Grab this other piece, and same thing. You want to make sure the hole that actually goes all the way through is facing down and towards the outside. Well, before you do this, you want to grab this bar and make sure you put this bar in the slot that's right here. There you go. And now we can actually grab this piece, thread in the bar. All right, and now we can grab our screws and thread them through. Make sure you guys can see what's really going on. All right, now we can grab our Allen key and tighten everything up. All right, now if we flip it over, we're gonna attach these 2 screws and these 2. Same thing as previously, like the one before. One side's not drilled through and one's drilled so you can fit an Allen key. You wanna make sure this part is facing upwards when you slot it through this hole right here. Again, you don't have to, there's no really way that you have to get it positioned just yet or how deep you want it to go, because you're gonna do all these adjustments when you finally put your monitor onto the triple stand. Same thing, make sure this hole is facing upwards. All right, just a little bit lower. All right, now we're gonna grab these 2 smaller ones. Now these are drilled the same way as their bigger brothers. So we're gonna make sure the hole that has the slot for the Allen key is facing outwards, and you're gonna thread it through this slot right here. Make sure you thread it just enough to where it stays in, because these 2 bolts right here are gonna adjust our monitor how it slides left or right. And then once we get everything adjusted perfectly, you tighten them up and then make sure this part right here is not gonna move on your monitor stand. Same thing, make sure this part is facing outwards. All right, and there we go. We're all done. All right, now let's get these bad boys put up on our monitor and then the other piece put onto our triple monitor stand. All right, so now we're gonna take the other plate, the plate right here that has this bar. I'm gonna place it on our monitor with the screws that they provide with us. All right, now that we got all 4 on, we're gonna make sure they're all nice and tight. All right, there we go. Now we got that mount on the back of the monitor, and now we can get it put on the rig. All right guys, so now we're ready to mount the Vesa Mount to our triple stand monitor. As you can see, I've already taken everything off, and now we're ready to put everything in. So we're gonna take these 2 T-nuts that come with it. I'm gonna place them in the slot right here. You wanna slide them in to where you can hear a nice click, like that. Slide the second one in. There we go. All right, now we can grab our mount. We're talking about this back mount right here, this back plate that has a slot. You can tighten it down just a little bit, just enough to where when we put the mount, the other mount with the monitor on it, we can just slide it in and we're good to go. All right guys, so now we can put our monitor onto our triple stand. So we're gonna take the bar and we're gonna slide it into the slot right here. This that we talked about. Okay, slide it in. All right, from here, now that we got the monitor hooked up, we can take a look and make any adjustments we need to our monitor. So if we need to make it go a little bit further, we can do that. If we need to make it go left or right or tilt, we can do all those with the little hex screws that are in the back. All right guys, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a closer look on the back right here. So we got this bolt right here. This is what just the height and the tilt of your monitor going either left or right. This bar right here and the one in the back, that adjusts your monitor going left or right. So once we finally got everything set up in the way we like it, we can take our Allen key and place it in here. They can actually start tightening up our monitor. That way it doesn't move or doesn't do anything. When you're playing, getting in and out of your rig, or somebody bumps into it, everything's locked into place. All right, that part's in. Once you feel like it's hit, there's not really any need to tighten these up. Just leave them as they are, they'll stay where they are. And there we go. Then we can take our big Allen key and we can tighten these two screws to make sure our monitor is nice and stable on our rig. All right, now this monitor is the important one. So this is the monitor where all the other monitors are going to be based off of. So if you get everything right on the center monitor, then all your left and your right monitor should follow suit with no problems whatsoever. So we got the center monitor mounted. Now let's get the left side mounted too. All right, so as you can see guys, our monitors aren't perfectly aligned. We've got the two monitors here hooked up. So now we're going to go to the back and we're going to adjust so we can make sure that these two monitors are aligned before we move on to our third one. All right, so now we're going to try to adjust the second monitor to the center monitor using the hex screws right here. So all it is, just going to try to go in, raise up. You need to raise up the monitor a little bit, raise it up on both sides. Looks about right. So looking at it, the monitor's tilting downwards a little bit. So we're going to take the key that's at the bottom. We're going to screw it up a little bit. Just going to make sure we can get the monitors aligned. All right, so we got most of it is good to go. Now we got a little bit of a gap right here. So we're going to sit here. We're going to adjust it a little bit so we can slide the monitors a little bit more together. go. I think we've got that gap good to go. Now that we got that done. So we got our monitor centered. There's not a gap left there anymore. So we're good to go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna tighten these two screws onto the middle part. Yep, got the wrong Allen key, so it's fine, we'll just use our fingers. Because we don't need to tighten up too much. Actually, let me go grab the smaller one real quick. All right, so now we can tighten this. All right, we got that lined up. And do the same thing to this side. All right, so we got that in. We're gonna make sure to do this a little bit of a turn just to make sure it's tight. All right, and we're good to go. We got the gap eliminated right here. The monitor is centered. There's not tilting or anything like that. So there we go. Now we can move over to the third monitor. I'm gonna go ahead and skip that part because I already showed you guys how to do it with the side monitors. All right, so what's my verdict on this kit? For me, I really enjoyed it. It offered me almost unlimited ways of adjusting my monitors. And the OCD in me kicks in when I see gaps. And this kit really helped out a lot because no matter what I did with my monitor stands, before I had this kit, I always had some sort of gap between my monitors. If you're somebody that doesn't have this issue or you don't really care about it, you can skip this kit. But again, if you want something that's truly a perfect solution to make sure you eliminate all the sagging gap, then this kit is for you. So I want to know what you guys think of this kit. Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when we release our next video. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you out there racing. Later.